Over the last 2 decades, the value of NFL contracts has skyrocketed. NFL teams simply can't wait to pay huge amounts of money to top-tier players. And while some of them will be worth it, others see their values exaggerated, which causes certain teams to pay through the nose for them. That creates some poor contract values that are usually handed out to declining megastars or potential packed players that simply fall off earlier than expected. There are always a few cases when even fans know right away that a team overpaid for a player. These contracts often end up busting and sometimes rank among the worst deals in the league. So, who are these players on the list in 2022? Here's a breakdown of the NFL's worst contracts now and how they might impact teams this season and beyond. Number 1. Quarterback DeSean Watson, Browns. Total contract value $230 million. AAV $46 million. Total guarantees $230 million, 100%. Watson's deal was a shocker from the minute that the Browns signed him to it. Sure, Watson is only 26 and is a talented quarterback, but he has massive off-the-field concerns stemming from accusations of sexual assault and misconduct that brought his status for the 2022 NFL season into controversy and raised questions. Ultimately, Watson was suspended for 11 games after the NFL's investigation into his violation of the league's personal conduct policy. As such, the Browns will only have Watson on the field for 6 regular seasons. They're still paying him over $45 million in 2022, which means he will make $7.5 million per game in 2022 if Cleveland fails to make the playoffs. So while Watson's deal might not hurt Cleveland from a cap standpoint this year, it will still cost them a huge sum of cash without much of a return. And in the long term, the fully guaranteed deal will come at a significant risk considering that Watson has ample off-the-field baggage. Number 2. Running back Ezekiel Elliott, Cowboys. Total contract value $90 million. AAV $15 million. Total guarantees $28.05 million or 31.2%. The Cowboys signed Elliott for a 6-year extension of the contract just before the 2019 NFL season began. It made sense at the time, as he had led the NFL in carries, 304, and rushing yards, 1,434, for the second time in his 3 NFL seasons. The deal made him Dallas's long-term workhorse, but he hasn't actually lived up to it. Elliott has surely declined slowly, but in the 3 seasons since signing his extension, he posted a Pro Bowl season in 2019. But over the last 2 seasons, he hasn't been as efficient. He also hasn't been as much of a performer, as he has split carries with Tony Pollard at times. Elliott's numbers over the last 2 seasons have dwelled in the category of fine. He produced a 1,002-yard season in 2021 and scored only 12 total touchdowns. That said, his contract also makes him the 3rd highest paid running back in terms of AAV league-wide. Suffice it to say, he is no longer that type of player, so his $18.2 million cap hit he is set to have in 2022 seems like a clear overpay. Number 3. Wide receiver Kenny Golladay, Giants. Total contract value $72 million. AAV $18 million. Total guarantees $28 million or 38.9%. Through 1 season in New York, the Kenny Golladay experiment has come out to be a massive failure. Golladay had only 37 catches for 521 yards in 14 games for the Giants last year. Despite his huge fame, he caught 0 touchdown passes. It became a running joke among NFL writers, who love to point out that certain offensive linemen had more scores than him. Galladay's deal is only the 19th most expensive at the receiver spot in wake of one offseason of significant spending at that position. Still, it's far too much for him, and unless he can regain the form he had a couple of years ago, which saw him catch a league-high 11 touchdowns, he will continue to be a liability for the Giants. Number 4. Tight end David Njoku, Browns. Total contract value $54.75 million. AAV $13,687,500. Total guarantees $17 million or 31.1%. The Browns made Njoku the 5th highest paid tight end in terms of AAV during the 2022 NFL offseason. The decision was undoubtedly a questionable one. He simply hasn't been all that productive with the team over the course of his career. He has spent 5 seasons with the Browns and averaged 39 catches, 459 yards, and 4 touchdowns per 17 games played. Those numbers are solid, but they just don't match with the 17-game averages of other top-paid tight ends over the last 5 years. It's possible that Njoku could break out during his age 26 season. But still, the Browns are paying him based on his potential, not on his previous production, which is certainly a gamble. Number 5. Tight end Taysom Hill, Saints. Total contract value $40 million. AAV $10 million. Total guarantees $10.1 million or 25.3%. The Saints once thought Hill was their quarterback for the future. Now the 32-year-old is their tight end of the present, and an overpaid one at that. When the Saints signed Hill to a deal, there was an escalator in his contract that would have paid him more if he became a long-term quarterback. That experiment has now been abandoned, and as a result, he is one of 11 tight ends in the league making more than $10 million a year. It seems like New Orleans overpaid for him because they thought they were getting a quarterback on the cheap instead of a high-priced tight end. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you liked it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We also appreciate your feedback, so don't hesitate to express your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. We'll be back with another amazing video soon. Peace out.